In terms of the team now, then, obviously, part of this investment gives you the ability to build that team and structure it for the next growth journey. How is it sort of structured now, then?
So we now, well, we have representation across the globe now, and we didn't previously. So each of the regions has a regional lead, which has made a big difference. And then some of the more sort of central functions sit as part of the global team. So we've grown slightly, not hugely, as part of the marketing team. I think where we've done is start to understand where the gaps are and where it's worth getting external help in a little bit more. So either that being through agencies or being through contractors. For example, events have stepped up this quarter because the world has opened back up. But do we need a full-time events person? Probably not. But actually having a contractor that can help us and who is a specialist in that space is the right thing to do. So we have grown. We've got more of a global footprint, but we're also being smarter in terms of what makes more sense to have externally.
Makes sense. And have you hired in any specialists then? Sort of, you talked a little bit about automation, a marketing automation person, or a product marketing is quite a big thing at the moment in terms of linking the sort of customers to the product roadmap and being that sort of glue between the sort of development of the product and the sales and marketing teams. Any sort of specialists like that?
Yeah, no, exactly that. So product marketing, as I said, was sort of the thing that I wish we'd started sooner into more in a traditional sense. And so we do. Yeah, we now have product marketing within the organisation, which is fantastic and already making a big difference. And only a few months in, we have an operations team now, and we didn't before, around like actually being able to be responsible for Salesforce at an organisation level, but then also having someone within the team who looks after the sort of Pardot marketing integration element, as well as sort of managing more of our web-based platforms. So we do have, they're probably the main two from a specialist perspective. The others, we've got a content and editorial lead now. So as we grew, we needed to try and get more of that content sort of in-house before being able to use it externally on our social channels, etc. So she's been a really great hire. But I think they're the main ones.
Yeah. And how do you sort of think through when you need an extra person? I mean, you talked about the event side there then. At what point do you think will actually, because what a lot of companies do, I guess, is start off, they hire in a few generalists and then, their job descriptions get a bit wider to the point where they can't sort of cope with stuff. But how do you sort of work through that in your mind as to, okay, well, now I know we need a digital paid ads person or an events person or a PR person?
Yeah. No, it's a really good question. So I guess I linked mine back to our plans. So now we have plans to sort of go, if I look at, the reality is within any marketing team or any team generally, more people can always, I cannot, if you say, do you want another head? Well, of course I do. So I think, trying to be really clear about what we're trying to achieve and then linking that back to individuals within the team is, I find, the best way to do it for me. For if you take the events person, for example, I think, now I can see, looking at the events plan for next year, that we're not going to need a full head, but actually would a part-time person be useful? That's, an ongoing discussion with the organisation around, our head count, etc. But I have a good relationship with all of the team, and I try and keep things sort of as open and transparent as possible so that people can, come to me if they've got too much on or not enough on, heaven forbid. And so, if I can't, I think that's my best route to understanding if we need more people. But ultimately, I think everything comes back to that plan. If you know what your plan is, you know what you need to achieve, and if you can achieve it within that headcount without having to hire more people or needing to hire more people to meet your planning needs, then that's what we would do.